Texas. They say everything's bigger here, and they're right. We've got big cars, big hearts, and even bigger stakes. This is beef country, Texas.
Home to the Alamo, and a state park so big that we named it just that. Big Bend. Call it that because it's really big and it bends. Duh.
It's got a Texas-sized podcast as well. And this is it, right here, Fort Hood's great big podcast. Yeehaw.
It's Monday.
Yep.
That it is.
Coffee will not even help today.
My tea's helping a little bit.
Yeah,
I got some new coffee and it
There
helps
is
a lot.
no help
Ooh.
for what I went through yesterday.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
You know, there's like National Football League games going on.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Right? And yesterday was, we're taping this on a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday was Championship Sunday.
Right.
Oh.
And my Green Bay Packers hosted the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay.
Okay.
Frozen Tundra, Lambeau
Okay.
Field, and they lost.
No.
They're done.
What was the score?
Oh, God. 31-25, something like that.
Still
32-25.
close.
No, I don't want to hear it. It was not.
I heard on the radio
It was-
who's
it was
going to
not-
like the
No,
Super Bowl
it
and
wasn't.
stuff.
It wasn't close, and they were trying to play catch up all the second half.
Oh.
Never got there. They were down by 18 at one point.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was not pretty.
Did you know that the team that Tom Brady plays in is going to the Super Bowl? Which, by
That's
the
the
way,
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's rub some salt in it, Melissa.
which, by the way, Tom Brady used to play for the Patriots, which I support them.
Yeah, so
I didn't know he switched teams.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's
Yeah.
won like 1 million Super Bowls.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
crazy. He must be good luck charm.
Greatest, what do you call it?
Goat.
Goat.
He's the goat.
Greatest of
quarterback?
all time.
Greatest of all time.
Goat.
Okay, he's a quarterback.
Goat. Yeah, he's a quarterback.
Okay,
We're the goats.
I only know that because I heard it on the radio.
Be honest, ladies. Who watches football in this room besides me?
No,
No.
My
no,
hands
I-
up.
No.
No.
I
Never.
watch hockey.
Never watched a football game?
I mean, I'll see it like when I walk by, if I'm like in a bar or
So,
on the TV.
Fiance, is he a sports guy or no?
No.
No?
No.
No?
He
What
did
about
go
hubby?
watch the
He
game.
only
though.
watches hockey,
Okay, so
Mm.
you're kind of a hockey fan.
kind of.
Yeah. Well, that's like me. I wasn't a cat person until I got married.
Yes.
Now I'm a cat person.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
It's all good. But
Dang, I'm sorry.
Melissa is here.
Yes.
So I guess you
Yay.
can cheer me up a little bit. The fact that you've made it back from Maine.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And, that phone call we had was hilarious, by the way. You couldn't
Oh,
hear us. You
yeah.
couldn't hear us on the other end. It was like, hello, is this Sergeant Melissa Lessard?
My son had just
Click.
woken up when you guys called.
Oh my goodness.
Click.
Well,
So,
obviously we take priority over your children. I don't know what the problem is here.
yeah,
Just kidding.
yeah. So, good to be back.
Yeah, that remains to be seen. I'd rather be back. I'd rather be at home.
You know, I feel you when I got back from Hawaii and I got off the airplane and the temperature difference
Oh, my
hit me.
goodness.
I was like, ooh. I mean, this is the great place, but it's chilly.
You actually drove straight through from Maine to Texas.
That is crazy.
You know, that's where's your risk assessment there?
So,
Sergeant?
right.
You know what I mean?
So when we drove to Maine, we took it took us 3 days. So we
Right.
took
Oh my God.
appropriate breaks.
Right.
When we were coming back, I did not take appropriate breaks. My kids, I was actually, it's a funny story. I was talking to my kids because they're like, oh, we want to drive through the night. And I'm like, I used to only drive at night, not during the day.
Right.
And they're like, oh, we want to drive at night. And I'm like, that was the worst decision I've ever made. I'll never do it again. It was crazy.
Really?
Never do it.
Well,
Are
the kids
the
slept
drivers
whole way,
crazier
right?
at night?
No, so my oldest son stayed awake the whole entire time.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
It was a really long day that day.
I bet. Oh.
But I didn't drive from Maine to Texas nonstop. No, we took a break.
Okay.
Many breaks.
And
Just one break? Oh, okay.
you weren't
many
the only
breaks.
one driving either, right?
I was.
What?
It was just me and my 2 kids.
Oh.
My husband and my other son stayed back in Maine.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
This is me slapping her hand. Naughty. Naughty. Bad.
Worst decision ever.
Yeah. And,
I don't know how truckers do it.
Mom,
I don't
they
either.
don't. They're not allowed to.
Oh.
It's not safe.
No, it's not.
So never do that again.
She's living on the
Never.
edge.
Hopefully CPS isn't listening to this.
Oh.
No, but I'm glad you're back. And now you're really here for 2021. So I guess we're officially, hey,
The
moving
official
on.
crew.
Yeah. Hey, Kelvin, he's here.
Oh, yeah.
We're
yeah,
gonna
he's
we're
here
gonna
too.
use him. If he makes it in, we'll, get him in toward the tail end of the show. But so tell me, did you freeze up there in Maine?
Oh, I froze, but I prefer it. Oh my gosh, it was so cold. But you know what? That's why I dress in layers. My husband said that when I left, the temperatures plummeted. When the coldest that it had gotten there while I was there was 8 degrees.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And then the day after I left, it had gotten down to, it was like 13 with a real feel of 1. And there was ice everywhere and snow. My kids loved it.
Oh,
I loved it.
No, I can't. I'm
Honolulu,
tropical.
they're putting on sweaters when it hits about 65.
Oh, we put on the sweaters at 70.
Right? Right?
Yeah, it was average like mid 80s the whole
Yeah.
time I was there.
Yeah.
I got back to Texas and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so warm.
What? No.
I woke up for PT this morning. I'm like, I really don't need pants and a jacket. I could just wear shorts and a t-shirt.
I came in with my fleece. I'm still cold.
Hawaii was my first duty station, and I remember getting off the plane, and this was before you got off and, the terminal thing and everything was air conditioned. You actually had to walk downstairs and then walk to the terminal.
Yeah.
That's how old I am. Right? But anyway, I'm wearing khakis. If do you guys know what khakis were?
I do know what
Uniforms?
khakis are.
Khaki colored, but they were short sleeves,
Yes.
right? And you had matching pants and all that stuff. And I'm flying in from Wisconsin with a brief stop in Los Angeles to get to Honolulu, right?
Yeah.
So leave Wisconsin in October.
I bet you felt like you were suffocating.
Get to LA, make the puddle jump, and get off in Honolulu. And when I got off the plane and hit the stairs to walk onto the tarmac, every pore in my body opened up and started to sweat because of the humidity.
Yeah.
And not to mention it was 80 degrees. And I
That's
had left and
hilarious.
it was freezing,
Yeah.
or maybe 40 or whatever, but it was 40 degrees warmer and like 95% humidity.
Yeah. Was that your first time ever going there?
That was me arriving first time. 19-year-old punk kid.
19? Oh,
My
baby.
goodness.
Yeah.
Aw.
Defense Information Trained School Killer. Yeah. Broadcaster.
Shoot you with a camera.
Yeah.
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 Back in the Civil War days, right?
Yeah, sure. Me and Matthew Brady were like this. You know who Matthew Brady was?
I don't.
Okay, he's the guy that took all those Civil War photographs.
Oh,
You know,
that guy.
Battlefield, all the stuff
You were right
see in
next
the
to him, right?
Smithsonian. Yeah, me and him, man. Yeah, we were tight.
Y'all were cool bros.
So we have a very interesting show this week, ladies.
Tell me what's it about?
We have the director of Fort Hood Public Works coming in.
Super exciting.
He's actually our next guest. And we have folks from the Robertson Blood Center also coming in because guess what?
National
It's
Give Blood Month.
Blood Donor Month.
Yes.
Yes.
And you know what? With COVID and all that stuff, it's just good that we put it out there and get some awareness, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever given blood?
Me? Yeah.
What about you?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But I haven't been able to for years because of mad cow disease in Europe. If you were stationed in Europe, they weren't letting you give blood.
You a mad cow?
Yeah.
Well, I've been exposed. I've been exposed.
I've never given
this
blood.
explains so much
What?
about
Craziness?
you.
on
Yeah.
Fort Hood, yeah. But anyway, we will have the director of Fort Hood Public Works coming in right after these
messages.
Where do you go to get the latest news from Fort Hood, Texas?
The Fort Hood Sentinel.
And where do you go if you want ideas for things to do in Central Texas?
The Fort Hood Sentinel.
What if you don't have a copy of the Fort Hood Sentinel?
Then I go to my local newsstand and pick up a copy, or go online to www.forthoodsentinel.com.
The Fort Hood Sentinel, Fort Hood's premier place for news and Central Texas information, standing watch since 1942.
Masks on for safety, masks on for safety. In the store, you walk in the door. Masks on for safety, masks on for safety. Day or night, do what's right.
Look, bad jingles aren't going to stop the coronavirus, but wearing a mask or a face covering can help lower the chance of infection or spread. So do your part and mask up. Or we may just have to keep singing.
Masks on for safety, masks on for safety. Be a mouth and noser, or else you're a poser.
Do what's right, save a life, wear a mask.
It's what your tax dollars sound like. Fort Hood's great big podcast.
And yes, it's still Monday, but we have good news now. And we have a new guest, and it is Brian Dosa. He is the director of Fort Hood's Directorate of Public Works, affectionately known as DPW.
Yes.
And he's here to talk about innovation,
All the new
technology
stuff.
advances, good stuff. How you doing, Mr. Dosa?
Hey, doing great this morning, Dave. Thanks for the opportunity.
We
to
are
spend some
glad
time
to
with
have you here. You are actually on the front page of last week's paper talking about there's an app for that when it comes to barracks maintenance, right?
Yeah.
So
Hey, we're moving into the 21st century.
Yay!
Come on, give me the skinny on that and how it's going to affect us here at Fort Hood.
Yeah, sure. So the Army has recently rolled out a maintenance app that we're going to be able to use here on Fort Hood for our barracks. So we have about 10,000 soldiers that currently live in our barracks.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
On Fort Hood, we have 99 barracks buildings with 16 under renovation. So the soldiers that are living in the other 83 of our barracks can now use a maintenance app on their smartphone or cellular device to be able to submit work orders in their barracks rooms. And so in DPW, our highest priority is doing barracks maintenance, taking care of issues where our single soldiers choose to live, or I guess they don't choose, but they live in the barracks.
Sure.
And our highest priority is to make sure that those barracks rooms are healthy and safe, and the issues are addressed very, very quickly. And so, traditionally, if you had an issue in the barracks, you call 287-2113, and that'll still work. So feel free to pick up the phone and call that number. There's also a way to submit a DMO or a work order, online. But now this maintenance app is really exciting. So soldiers will be able to take their smartphone. They do have to register.
Okay, there are some steps.
There's a couple steps. So once they register in the system, then they'll be able to submit a work order. We call it a demand maintenance order, a DMO.
Right.
But they can submit a work order, from their phone, and then actually be able to track, where it is.
That's nice.
So that's pretty cool to be able to have some visibility on where that maintenance app, where that DMO is in the system.
Under the old system, the call it in, that kind of thing. If it's a serious issue, right? I know you guys have priorities to doing a work order or taking care of something. Say it's a serious issue, health, safety. How long would something like that take now? Yeah,
so we have 3 different priority levels. So when we receive a DMO or a work request from a soldier or from somebody in any of our facilities or in the barracks, we assign it either a priority 1, which is an emergency life, health, safety issue.
Sure.
A priority 2, which is an urgent request, and then a priority 3, which is a routine request. And so you ask about the priority 1. So if we get a priority 1 work order in, we address that within 24 hours.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So pretty much same day service.
Yeah, absolutely. And depending on the DMO, if it has something to do with, electricity, or there's no water, or the air conditioning is out in the summer, it's often a matter of hours before
Sure.
we respond to that. But typically within 24 hours, we get that thing fixed, or it may be that we have to order some parts to get it fixed, and we would make arrangements to address that life, health, safety concern, and then get the parts and get it fixed.
I get routine. Okay, I got a drippy faucet or something like that. What's priority 2?
Yeah, priority
It's
2
urgent.
it's urgent. It's something that, if not addressed, could become a life, health, safety issue within a matter of days.
Okay.
So typically what we would say is, in the barracks, if you have an issue in an individual room, that would be a priority 2 issue.
Sure.
So if the electricity goes out in a room, or the air conditioning goes out in a room, in a single room,
Right.
we would treat that as a priority 2, because we're able to take that soldier or those soldiers and move them to a different room until we get the issue addressed. But if we have an entire floor or a wing or the entire barracks go down,
Right.
air conditioning, water, electricity, that's a I one.
Okay. I get
Yeah,
that.
makes
So there's only
sense.
2 priorities?
And there's
3.
priority 3.
And there's
there's
routine,
3.
too.
as well. So
Oh,
3 is
okay.
routine. So let's say, you crack your mirror, or you dent your wall, or something that is a routine matter. We need to get it fixed, but it's not causing any immediate issue. That would be a priority 3. And we typically do those within 30 days.
Okay. Yeah.
So does that just include their individual room, or can you put in a work order for like the building, like say the laundry room?
Yeah, great question. You can put in a work order for anything.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So
That's
any
awesome.
in any facility. So in the barracks, the lights outside, the parking lot lights, if there's a pothole in the road approaching the barracks, if there's a traffic signal, that's gone out, or one of the lights in the traffic signal's gone out, or if a stop sign is tipped over and somebody ran it over, any issue can be called in 287-2113, and we get after it.
That's interesting.
One of the things, like, all right, I lived in the barracks for almost 5 years, but that was eons ago.
Civil War
40 years ago. But you had a floor sergeant, you had command interest and
Structure.
emphasis, and if there was a work order going in, they were aware of it. With the app, how is the command still tied in?
Yeah, absolutely. So most all of our units are very engaged with their leaders. So the squad leader, the platoon sergeant, company commander, company first sergeant, all very engaged in the barracks. And so those leaders would be able to go into the maintenance app and actually pull up any of the work orders that were submitted through.
Okay, so they can register in as a leader of
Absolutely.
a unit, and they'll get a report back out of there.
Nice.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
good to know.
Absolutely, kind of makes
Important.
it going to make it a lot easier for you, right?
I think so. And I think
Down-
it'll make leaders' ability to track issues in the barracks to completion. It'll make it easier for them, facilitate what they're trying to get done.
So
Now-
is the push at the unit level to get all the soldiers registered and the leaders registered, and are we really pushing that?
I think so. I mean, we had a pilot during the month of December, and we used the WTB barracks, or
Okay.
it's now the Soldier Recovery Unit, the SRU barracks, as the pilot. And the leaders did a pretty good job of getting engaged, getting their soldiers enrolled in the app. Now that we're into January and into the new year, it's across all of our 99 barracks. And yes, I think as word gets out, leaders are getting engaged, soldiers are finding out what they need to do and getting registered. And we're seeing kind of daily increases in the numbers.
Okay.
So I have a question about that app. So our barracks manager on West Fort Hood manages, I don't know how many barracks, but
2 barracks, yeah. Lots of rooms, but
Yeah.
only 2 barracks, yeah.
So he would be able to go onto that app and see all the work orders, but would he be able to see all the work orders that have been only sent in through the app, or all of them in general?
Just one sent into the app.
Okay.
Great question.
Yeah. So he would still technically have to go to, however, I don't know how he gets his work orders, his list of work orders, but he would still have to do his thing to go see the rest of the work orders.
Yes, that's correct. So, I mean, so in the old way of doing business, we took, 95% of our DMOs came in by telephone, 287-2113.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went into a computer business program that we call GFibs. That's just how we manage our work. And
Sure.
and so you can do different queries and reports out of GFibs. And so 504th leadership or the BMO, the Barracks Maintenance Officer down there will be able to call us, and we'd be able to do a query of the system and get them a report on what's going on in their barracks.
Oh, and that GFib system still takes into account the maintenance work orders that come in through the app?
Yeah, so right now, this is kind of behind the curtains.
Right.
But
Tie
right
it
now,
all
we're
together.
kind of doing double work.
Right.
So everything that comes in through the app, we're taking and
You have to manually input it.
manually entering them into GFibs. We're doing
Right.
double work. Here, we're within the next 1 to 2 weeks, the Army has told us that interface then will be complete, so that through the app, the DMOs would go directly
It'll populate
to
by
GFibs.
itself.
Okay.
We're
Right.
very excited about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because that's going to make our life easy, because right now we're kind of doing double work.
Wow.
Kind of behind the curtains, no need to worry about that, but we've got it under control. But yeah. that's
Just to
what's
get
going
a
on.
handle on that, Fort Hood is one of the biggest installations in the Army, and like you said, 10,000 soldiers living on post. In a typical month, how many work orders do you have to deal with?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So we get on order between 75 and 100 work orders from the barracks every day.
Oh my
Every day?
goodness.
Every day.
That's like 30,000 work orders a month.
So it's actually more. Yeah, so 30 times 100 would be
That's
3,000.
3,000.
So
Oh yeah, sorry. My bad. I did the math wrong.
that's okay. So we get
This is a
about
journalist, not a math
3,000. To answer your questions, about 3,000 DMOs per month out of the barracks alone, and that's not to count all the other buildings on Fort Hood.
Sure.
And again, like I said at the beginning, making sure our barracks are, a safe and healthy place for our soldiers is our number one priority. So those are the ones we treat as the highest priority for resourcing and getting after them. And if you look at our completion timelines, within barracks DMOs, we're doing really well in spite of having that many DMOs. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, with that many work orders, that will save you a lot of time on your end when everything's automated. I can see that. All right.
Yeah, we've got a lot of really good folks in DPW that are out there working hard every day, fixing things in the barracks and making those barracks better. And we're also doing preventive maintenance.
Okay.
So we've got a whole other dedicated crew that does nothing but go out and do preventive maintenance. They're kind of focused on the mechanical systems, so they're working on the HVAC and the plumbing and the electrical systems, and they're doing all the preventive maintenance so that in the long run, we have less of those unexpected DMOs come in.
Right.
Which is good. Preventative maintenance is super important.
Absolutely.
Super important.
So how do you register for the app? Is it you're in the specific app store?
Yeah, actually, you have to go to a website. And so you have the paper there in front of you. Maybe you can read the website because I don't have it memorized. But you have to go to the website and register, and then you're able to access that application through your smartphone through the website.
Oh, so it's a website.
Yeah.
Okay.
You register on the website, and
Yeah.
then you can download once you're registered.
You
your phone.
can get it from www.armymaintenance.com.
There
Yep.
you go.
ArmyMaintenance.com.
ArmyMaintenance.com. And it's actually not yet a true app. And so you
That's
can't
the website.
go to the app store and download the app. I'm told that in the future there will be an app, but right now you can either access it through the Garrison app,
Right.
which you can download, and then in the Garrison app there's a button where you can click on for the Army Maintenance app or
That's Digital Garrison.
Digital Garrison app, right. And or you can just save as a favorite that webpage armymaintenance.com, and then you'd be able to access it through your phone.
Yeah. You can save web pages to your home screen.
Oh, I didn't know that. I
Yes.
thought you could only save apps.
I'll show you later.
Wow.
So this is definitely progress.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
We've had the Garrison Commander has been on this year now, and he alluded to it. In spite of COVID, the installation, especially your area, has been able to make a lot of strides during the coronavirus period. Tell me more.
Yeah, sure. So 2020 was a year to forget, right? So
Yeah.
none of us really enjoyed 2020, and
No.
there were a lot of things that went differently than we had hoped and expected. But from a construction and public works perspective, we were able to take advantage of that kind of, particularly last spring and early summer, when we kind of shut Fort Hood back. And we completely shut it down, but we really scaled back the pace of operations on Fort Hood. And we were able to take advantage of that time to get some exciting road construction done.
Sure.
So we were able to finish up the work on Clark Road out at West Fort Hood. Speaking of West Fort Hood, and Montague Village, there was a number of road projects that we were able to get done last year, taking advantage of that time. And
Sure.
And actually, most of our construction is an outdoor activity, and we've done pretty well with construction crews and not being affected by COVID. We've had a couple issues, but by and large, so we finished the Mission Training Complex in 2020. A great new $60 million facility constructed over by the Drift.
Right.
Almost the day we finished and cut the ribbon, First Cav moved in and start doing command post training exercises and preparations for the warfighters that are going on right now.
Right.
And that facility has been used, almost every day since it was completed. But it's turning out to be a great training venue for our soldiers and particularly our leaders in the Mission Training Complex. We were able to get a couple of new SSAs built. An SSA is a supply warehouse.
Activity.
So SSA, supply support activity,
Right.
basically where units receive and store and issue their Class 9 repair parts. So repair parts to fix tanks and Bradleys and vehicles like that. And then also packaged products, POL, so lubricants and oils and things like that, and other. So they have now a dedicated supply warehouse to be able to do that. We built two of them, one for 1st Cavalry Division, 1st Brigade, and one for 1st Cavalry Division, Air Cav Brigade out at Hood Army Airfield. And so those two were completed. We're really making some exciting progress on barracks renovations. So this past year, we finished up the 12,000 block barracks renovations. That's where 36 engineers is now moved in. So they've pretty much all of 36 engineers, soldiers that live in the barracks are in those 5 barracks, brand new renovated barracks. Right next door to that is the 14,000 block under renovation now. We got that started this past year. And then next to that is 16,000 block. That's for 89th MPs and the replacement detachment. 89th MPs is now moving into the first 3 of those buildings. Replacement detachment within the next couple months be moving into their buildings. So yeah, lots of progress in 2020. I could go on and on, but I don't want to bore you.
What's the biggest thing for 21 though?
Yeah, I think for 21, there's really kind of a couple exciting things. One is we're going to continue to do barracks renovations.
Right.
So of our 99 barracks on Fort Hood, 24.
Are we ever going to get to 100?
Yeah.
Actually, we are. Congress gave us money to build the number 100 barrack out at 69th ADA. It was a little bit short. We went through the process of the design and went out and put it out for bid. And when the bids came in, they were all higher than what Congress gave us.
Right.
So we're going through the process of adjusting the amount of money that we have. And we're going to break ground this year in 2021.
Well, there you go.
On the 100th barrack.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then we'll continue to do, but I was going to say, so of the 99 barracks on Fort Hood, 24 of them is what we call hammerhead barracks. So the reason they're called hammerheads is if you were to look at them from the sky, they have a little piece on the end of the building that used to be a dining facility. So back in the day, each barrack had its own dining facility.
Wow.
It looks like a hammerhead, like a fish or something.
Yeah.
We don't use those as dining facilities anymore. They've been converted to administrative space. So, but over on the east side, so think 3rd CR and some of the other units that live over on the east side, they live in those hammerhead barracks. Those were built in the 1950s.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
And they're just dire need of renovation. And so we got the first 5 funded and under contract for renovation. So the units, it was actually 36 engineers moved out of those 5 into the 12,000 block. Those 5 have now been turned over to the contractor. Within the next couple of weeks, we're going to start demolition. That'll be really exciting.
Sure.
To go in, basically gut. They're 3-story barracks. Basically gut all the floors, take the building down to its kind of skeleton form, and then we're going to start to build it back. And once that renovation is complete, those barracks will go to 3rd CR, and then we're going to continue to march on down and get the rest of the hammerheads renovated. We have a plan and a commitment, I think, from the Army to get those.
Those are the
funded.
oldest barracks on post.
Those are the oldest barracks on post.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so we've been very excited about getting this started. So that's definitely going to happen in 21. Also for 3rd CR, we're building them a new motor pool. It's about halfway complete. It's off of...
and that's a ribbon cut this year, too?
Yes.
Wow.
It'll be this fall, but we're going to turn over to them. Their motor pool facilities were all built in the 50s and 60s, and they're really lacking. So we're really excited about building them their first new motor pool.
State of the
I think
art.
it's state of the art,
Yep.
and I think with overhead lift and big wide bays and a facility that they can really maintain their fleet of Strikers and other vehicles down there in 3rd CR. So
Very cool.
that's going to be exciting in 2021 for sure.
Very cool.
Nice.
Brianna,
Yes.
questions about barracks?
I don't really have any questions. I mean, I think it's really great that it's going to be, that app will take out a lot of the confusion. I've noticed when people move into barracks, there's confusion on how, if people don't know how to get something fixed, they don't know about the phone number, they're just not informed. But obviously my generation is into the phones and it's very relatable. So that's going to be really good. Instead of the trying to get through, in some places, like you can only put in a work order, like only the sergeant in charge of the barracks or in charge of the floor. So making it individual, I think is really great and relatable, and will take out a lot of the confusion. And especially, it's no fun when you have something wrong with your where you live. So I think that's really good.
That's great. Good.
All right. So, and that number again, I know you have to register at, where's the website again?
www.armymaintenance.com.
Register first and then get the ARMA. It's the ARMA app, right?
That's right.
The ARMA app on your phone. And in the meantime, if you don't have that number is 254-287-2113. 2113. Don't be afraid to call. It means some extra work for DPW, but that'll be fixed soon too.
We're ready.
Thank you, sir, for swinging by.
Absolutely. Thank you, ladies, and thank you, Dave.
Looking forward to a very exciting 2021.
Should be good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Get that 100th barracks.
All right. Can't wait to cut a ribbon on that one, right?
Very cool.
All righty. Thank you. We'll be back with more right after this.
What is life? What's an honorable discharge? Sounds disgusting. Where'd my firing? Which end of the horse do I stick the carrot in?
Sporky asks a question.
I don't know. Hey, everybody. Sporky here, and I've got a big question. What is OPSEC?
Fork utensil. How is it that you don't know about operational security?
Annie Pumpkin. No need to be so formal. You can call me Sporky. All my friends do. And I know all about operational poo-poo-poo. But what is OPSEC?
Operational security's OPSEC, fork utensil.
Ooh, maybe it's OPSECs. That's spicy. Where do babies come from?
Fork utensil.
It must have something to do with the military and things. I know. I'll take pictures of stuff all over post and put them on the internet and ask, is this OPSEC? Is this OPSEC?
Fork utensil,
Ooh,
you
it
better
sure
not.
smells like OPSEC.
Look, there are 5 steps to OPSEC.
Oh.
Identifying critical information, identifying the threat, assessing vulnerabilities, analyzing the risk, and developing and applying countermeasures. The OPSEC is pretty common sense, like not talking about troop movements or other sensitive things.
You mean it's a process by which organizations assess and protect information about things that could, if properly analyzed and grouped with other data by a clever adversary, reveal a bigger picture that ought to stay hidden.
That's exactly right, fork thingy.
Forky.
And like they used to say, loose lips sink ships.
Ooh, I love a good submarine joke, But seriously, where do babies come from?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Practicing good OPSEC is everybody's job. Protect your fellow service members. Don't be a sport.
Fort Hood's great big podcast. Close enough for the government, good enough for you.
All right, so we're back, and we have two very special guests with us.
Yes, we do.
We have Major Michele Allen from the Deputy Lab Manager at Carl R. Darnall Army Medical Center. Thank you for coming.
Good morning. Thank you.
And we also have another Major Mollie House. She's also the medical director. She is a medical director for the CRDAMC Blood Services.
Good morning.
Wow. It's National Blood Donor Month.
Yes,
It is.
That's why you're here.
Yes.
So, what does National Blood Donor Month mean to most years? Do you get more folks flooding in January or no?
Absolutely not. Actually, just historically, for whatever reason, there's a slump right after the holidays, January, February. People, I think they're tired out from the holidays.
Maybe that's why they made it the National Month. Right?
Yes, I think that there
To
was a plan
remind
to
you,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously this year has created a whole new set of challenges. People are at this point kind of getting used to isolating themselves and staying away from big gatherings and going out unless they absolutely need to. So it's even more imperative this month than it has been in the past because you have those compounding factors. And so, yeah, our job is to get the word out and get people into the donor center.
What do you guys need more? Whole blood? What are you guys looking for?
Everything.
Everything.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yes.
So run the gamut.
All right.
Tell us.
So what we do, typically most people are familiar with the whole blood donation. When you come in, you donate blood. What we do with those is we manufacture the different components. We actually separate out the components of your blood. And that way, when they're transfused, we're not overloading patients with a lot of extra things that they may or may not need.
Sure.
Sometimes we use those components to manufacture pharmaceutical items, things like clotting factors, that kind of thing. So whole blood is our standard. That's our go-to, our bread and butter. We also collect plasma here at Robertson Donor Center. We do what's called plasmapheresis. And that procedure is basically just taking the plasma out of your blood. It circulates through a machine, it removes the plasma and puts everything back in a completely sterile fashion, obviously.
Right.
The process is a little bit longer, but we can do that. There's some places we can also do platelets. So we run the gamut. Obviously, whole blood is our go-to because we can get all the components from that, but plasma is also a big player.
For the donor, there's actually a difference if you're giving blood or plasma or platelets.
Yes.
Can you kind of explain that to folks?
So the whole blood donation, since it's basically your straightforward unit of blood, it takes 20 minutes, 30 minutes, sometimes kind of depending. It's pretty straightforward. It's a little bit faster. The plasma donation, as we were discussing, takes a little bit longer because you have to, again, you're taking out an overall smaller product, but you have to go through the process of separating it out. So one of the big selling points is there's time to usually sit in there and maybe watch a movie, binge watch a Netflix series if you got one in mind.
Gotta catch up.
Or start it and come back the next time and finish it out. So
The other difference is the amount of time between donations. For whole blood, it's about 58 days, but for plasma, it's about 28 days.
Oh, so you can do it more often.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's because you're giving it back, right?
Exactly,
Yes.
sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And the donation starts out the same, regardless of the type of a product that you're going to be donating. But it's the length of time and then the length of time between donations that's the difference to our donors.
Now, there's blood centers downtown and all that stuff, but I think a lot of people don't realize, like Robertson Blood Center, your stuff actually impacts the military directly. Yes. I think we should get into that because if somebody's thinking of giving, maybe they can make some money downtown, vice doing it here on post. But who are they really helping?
Right. So this is a mission that's really near and dear to our hearts.
Exactly.
We're here because we're taking care of each other. And with the military community, the difference, in donating at Robertson as opposed to going to the Red Cross, it helps. Everybody gets helped in the end.
Right.
But there's something about going in and knowing that maybe your unit is going to go downrange. Right. It's going to be used to, treat somebody at the front line. and people that have been in the service, they can go in and they can continue taking care of their battle buddies. It really reinforces that sense that we're all a family. We're all, in this for each other and taking care of each other. So that's something that I think means a lot to us because, many of the units come over to the hospital. We take care of our beneficiaries there, take care of, kids, active duty. So it really is kind of a close-knit, cohesive endeavor.
Right.
Exactly. And for the most part, those units of whole blood, once they're separated, it's downrange within about 7 days to our warfighter.
Wow.
So they're available to the warfighter in about that amount of time. And like she said, the Army has determined what our quota is, what we send downrange, and what we have left here that our donors are so willing to give goes to our beneficiaries local, as well as some of our VAs.
Right.
Wow, that's incredible.
Fort Hood, the area has a huge retiree population. You see the white whiskers here, right? Yeah. Been there, done that, got the T-shirt. But when it comes to blood donation, I did like 15 years in Europe. My boss told me to ask because he did a 4-year tour in Germany. And he's like, he's been told up to, for a long time, you cannot give blood, mad cow disease.
Right.
What about retirees that have served a long time in Europe?
I am so glad you asked. That is wonderful. You seem mad cow free right now.
So I'm not going crazy. Well, not
everybody's
too much.
doing okay.
That's still to be determined, I think. The jury's still out on that.
So that is one of the great pieces of news that I can share today is that was actually recently lifted.
Recently lifted.
Yes. So that has traditionally been one of our rate limiting steps here at Fort Hood is that most people have deployed, they've been overseas and they've been in Europe. So that it was a huge limiting factor for people that could come in and donate. That was recently lifted. So that has opened up a whole new population for us that we are super, super excited about.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And if anybody has questions, whether they can donate because of their travel history, they just got to call the donor center.
Yes.
And they can get clarity on that because there are still some restrictions based on England, but for the most part, our folks that go to Germany are eligible to donate now.
Okay.
Yay.
Yes.
Wow.
That's great.
Yeah.
Belgium, Bosnia, you're good?
Yeah, come in. Ask us the questions.
Okay. What is that number? Put it out there, and then we'll ask you again one more time.
Yes, sir. 254-285-5808. Please call, ask questions, schedule blood drives, schedule individual donations, anything, they'll take you and answer any questions that our donors may have.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. We had the blood donor center director here last summer, and there weren't a whole lot of unit blood drives going on.
Right.
What's the? I mean, I'm guessing those are wildly successful when they happen.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I just talked to the donor center about that the other day, and I said, "So, what are you doing to sort of as a solution to this?" And their recruiters are talking to the units and asking the units to come in to the donor center through their social distancing. They had a really big foyer, that places to put everyone so they're safe. And then they move the donors back to the donation chairs one at a time.
Right.
So they're utilizing that method because they can control it. And a lot of units now are saying they can't, put their units together or too many people in one room like we used to do it. And so this way it solves two problems. And it allows the donor center and the staff that they have there to safely collect a donation from our donors.
So you would like to throw it out there and make a challenge to Fort Hood?
Yeah, I think so. I'd like to really get the ball rolling and get people back in the door. In the past, we have done unit recognition ceremonies at the end of the year for,
so cool.
our highest volume donors. Units get awards, and it's a pretty big ceremony. So I think it's really meaningful, and I think a unit can take a lot of pride when they come in and get recognized for that.
Absolutely. And individuals as well, sir. They actually have T-shirts, and we all know that. They got a T-shirt of their choice. But they also told me that there's a $25 gift card for each individual donation as well.
There you go.
Wow.
And then there's always cookies and juice. So
Well, yeah, gotta have the snacks.
Absolutely.
got to have your snacks.
Gotta have the snacks.
Yeah, and I know I think there's a policy on Fort Hood where if you donate so many times a year, you can get a certificate of achievement, correct?
Yes.
That's promotion points for
Or,
for all those
3-day
people.
pass. or
Yeah,
something.
and
Yes.
their
Information,
passes.
at
Yeah.
least.
Both good.
Yeah. So a lot of reasons to go.
A lot of reasons to go. Absolutely. Major House.
Yes.
Closing thoughts?
I just want to extend our gratitude to the Fort Hood community for how much we have been supported in the past. I think that there's a lot of people that really recognize the importance of this mission and have adopted that as their own. So again, we are grateful to everybody out there. We're excited to be able to get more retirees in there, more beneficiaries now that some of the restrictions have been lifted. There's also we are collecting COVID convalescent plasma. That's an ongoing project now too.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, Charlie gave.
That's right.
did.
Oh,
that's
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's open to anybody that has had COVID.
And recovered.
Right. So, that is something. If you have questions about, please call. That is something that potentially is a promising therapeutic avenue. So,
Yes.
people that have gotten through it and come out the other side, they can certainly help other people too.
Well, we thank you for your time, ladies.
Thank you.
And I hope business picks up for you
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
in 2021.
Yes.
Yes.
Can only get better, right?
Can only get better.
Can it though?
And they're yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, and it sounds like the center is doing everything they can to follow the CDC guidelines
Right.
and make sure you're safe the entire time and that you feel good.
Yes. Yeah, we take that very seriously. Temperature checks at the door, screening. And as Major Allen pointed out, the whole place is set up perfectly for social distancing. So
It is a big building. I've given blood inside there.
Yeah. And you will again.
Yes, I will.
Absolutely. We might even get some pictures.
Yes.
All right. And with that, we will be back with more right after this.
If you've got problems and feel like you just can't get answers, there's a place for you to turn. The Inspector General's Hotline. They take your issues seriously. If you're at the end of your rope and need someone to reach out to, grab a pen and take down this number. 254-287-7209. That's 254-287-7209. The Fort Hood office of the Inspector General. They inspect generals, so you don't have to.
It's a me, Super Mario. Woohoo! Hello to all my friends at the Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast, your number one.
And we're back. Right?
No.
Are you stop playing with your mouth? All right.
Well, that was nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What blood type are you?
Me? A plus. A positive.
Me too. Oh.
A positive.
We're all A positive.
We are. Oh, we
Really?
could all give each other blood.
I'm an A plus.
I know who I'm calling.
We're all A's in this room.
That's right.
Yeah.
A positive. A. I tell people that I'm like my blood type reflects my personality.
My blood type does not reflect my personality.
Come on. So next week, it's coming, man. We're almost there.
Yep.
Groundhog Day.
Yes.
Huh? Huh? All right. So
My son does that to me. I'll do that for a while.
Yeah, I know.
Groundhog
Yes.
sees his shadow. What does it mean?
Another 6 weeks of winter.
Yep.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
You got that one right.
Yes.
You had a 50-50 shot.
Yeah. I had to think about it. I had to think to last year's Groundhog Day.
So if it's overcast, it's like, I don't know,
It's going to be spring.
whatever. Interesting.
Yep.
When
ever
did
see
that
the-
start?
Oh, wait, no.
Did you ever see the Bill Murray movie?
I didn't.
You have never seen Groundhog Day.
No.
You?
I've heard of it.
I
though.
have, but I don't remember.
You don't remember
I've seen
much.
clips of it.
Don't ask me
The guy
about
keeps reliving the same day.
Yes,
over
I
and
know.
over and
Yep,
over
yep,
again.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he tries to get it right, and it takes him like forever.
So I only know about that movie because of there's been spoofed so many times. Like
Yeah.
it's such a cultural, it's a common cultural reference
yeah.
in other TV shows.
Kind of like me in Star Wars.
Yeah. It's always referenced.
Star Wars was on cable this weekend. They were like running them one after the other on a channel that, we don't name because, but anyway, it was on a cable channel. Mm-hmm. And I started, because I was bored, I started watching The Empire Strikes Back, which I had never seen in total.
Ooh, like 6.
The second. Well, anyway, it's the
4, 5, and 6.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
the second movie they ever made, and I never watched it all.
What?
Yeah, no. I've never seen the Return
The
of the
old
Jedi.
series, right?
Yeah, the first part.
Yeah. Okay, so
That's
they weren't the
classic.
first ones. It was 4, 5, and 6 that came out first.
Mm-hmm.
It's Star Wars. It's The Empire Strikes Back. Then it's Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, but those were filmed later.
No.
I thought
Those
so.
were from the 80s.
No, the ones from the 80s were 4, 5, and 6 first.
Yeah.
I understand the numbers.
Okay.
But the name of the film was Star Wars.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know
The
that.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Forget the episode numbers.
Okay.
I have
because
seen
the
it, though.
numbers are jacked.
Okay.
Right?
It's out of
Aren't the
order.
numbers jacked?
Yeah, they
up?
are.
They're
Yeah.
out of order?
Yeah.
They knew they were going to make 1, 2, and 3 later when technology got better.
Yeah. Well, they didn't know the first one was going to be super
No,
popular.
they decided to do all that. And I'm not a Star Wars geek, but I'm pretty sure they decided to do all that when they went, we can write prequels and make more money. Nobody cares if they're any good. They're going to go see them anyway. Right?
Classics now.
Yeah, well, some of them are classics.
But didn't they only keep making them because they were so popular?
Well, sure. Why do they keep making anything?
Yeah.
How many Rocky movies are there?
Too many. Ugh. So bad.
Fast and Furious.
Oh, my
Up
goodness.
to like 8, right?
I thought they were at 6.
No, I think
8?
it's 8.
There's only
Oh
so
my
many
goodness.
sequels that you can have.
Yeah.
I hate that now that they're also like the movie industry. They're splitting the final movie into 2 parts. That was not a thing when I was younger.
Oh. The one
No,
that
the
the one
movies
that
that were
killed me
just
because I
hours.
when it came out, Peter Jackson directed and produced
yes.
Lord of the Rings, right?
Ooh, yes.
And I watched them all.
Yes.
But then he did The Hobbit,
Yeah.
and I
Get me
was
started.
so angry because he added stuff in there that didn't
Yes.
belong in there. Number 1 and number 2, he took a book that's maybe 240 pages long, which is not a trilogy, and made it into a trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I went and took my 2 boys. They were much younger. They were grade schoolers at the time. We took them to see The Hobbit. And I'm thinking they're going to see The Hobbit.
Right.
Start to finish. And they get to this other stuff and they throw some junk in there that wasn't in the book. And I'm like, they made this into a trilogy. I'm done. I am never going to see the other ones. I watched a little bit of them on cable, but I won't watch them.
They even split up the last one too.
Yeah,
The
it's
trilogy.
sad.
It's so
Yes,
annoying.
Sad. Anything to make money, right?
Yep.
Oh, well.
Well, it's payback now because the movie theaters have been suffering. So that is the atonement for making us wait and having the horrible cliffhangers.
Yeah, but even think about it. There's not a lot of movies out there that I really can't wait to see anyway.
Oh,
Nope.
there's a lot for me.
Are there?
I get obsessed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What's coming out right now or soon that you really want to see?
Well, there's no interesting trilogies coming out now, but
I
there's a
don't mean
couple
that.
movies.
I just mean there. All right, what's the one movie you can't wait to see when it comes out?
Oh, that I can't. Well, there's none that I can think of right now. But there's 2 movies coming out this week that I do want to see.
Oh yeah, what's that?
I forget the names though. I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
Wait. One is I think it's
Unforgettable.
the small things.
Okay.
Denzel Washington.
Yeah,
It's coming out soon.
Saw trailers.
Yeah, it looked interesting.
Yeah.
And the other one, oh man, I'm blanking. I just remember it looked good.
Are you gonna do the movie theater thing, or are you gonna?
I'm replacing Blair now.
Stream it.
Oh no, I like to go to the movie theaters.
Really?
I wear a mask
expensive.
and everything.
Too expensive.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I dress up and make it a whole thing.
You and your outfits.
I do.
Honestly, I cannot talk the wife into a movie theater right now.
Yeah, I understand it's not for
Because
everybody.
think about it. No, it isn't that. Well, the only person that I knew went to a movie theater got COVID.
Oh really? Oh yeah, that.
Hello.
But didn't he get it before?
No. He got COVID after.
Oh.
Sometime thereafter, but it's like we don't know.
Yeah. But we knew where he got it from, though.
Well,
it wasn't the theater.
Maybe. Well, it wasn't you, and it wasn't me.
Yeah,
so,
thank God.
Or you.
It was almost me. I felt like that one time.
I didn't even know Charlie had COVID. for the longest time until a month later. And he was like, oh, by the way, I had COVID.
Oh, yeah. Shows how much she pays attention, right?
He never told me.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he wasn't here, so, you know, doing the show over the phone.
I wasn't even here. I was over
That's
at,
true.
back over at my brigade.
I was supposed to hang out with him the weekend
I know.
before, so dodged a bullet there.
Did you cancel?
He canceled, but he didn't tell me why initially.
Oh.
Well, because we both were getting busy with our schoolwork.
Yep.
But he told me after, he's like, I was actually really glad you canceled because I was starting to not feel well and I was considering canceling.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I'm very grateful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was. That did not look like a walk in the park for him. So
2021, things are looking up. Vaccinations are being given.
Yes. I feel like there's hope.
There is hope.
Starting. I mean, because more people are going out. Like even when I'm driving now, I see a lot of cars out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people are still social distancing and wearing masks and being safe. So that's why I feel comfortable going to the theaters.
I think as long as people do take the extra step.
Yes.
And not go, oh, there's vaccines being kept. Now we can have, 40,000 people watching a
go to a stadium
and hang out, and have stadium concerts again.
Brandy was just talking about this.
Yeah.
About getting the vaccine and still being able to catch COVID and spread it and all that stuff, even with the vaccine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still possible, but I think it definitely.
I don't know about catching it, but I think you can spread it.
Yes, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Asymptomatic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But I am not a medical doctor.
I have no idea.
I don't even play one on the podcast. So
we can start.
I don't go out except to go to work and grocery shopping. So
okay,
that's just my life.
Good job, Mom.
You're so good.
Melissa, take us out. It's another week.
Yay! And I'm gonna stick with my main traditions. Have a wicked good week. Have a wicked good day.
And
just stay safe.
Oh yeah, stay safe. Bye. See you next week.
Bye.
Driving down the road.